What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. I've noticed something quite strange about the way we treat things that are broken or on the verge of breaking. Somehow, when something is on its last leg, it finally gets the love and care it deserves from us to make it last as long as possible before having to replace the thing or to repair the thing. Somehow, because of its almost broken state, we finally realize the delicate nature of the thing in front of us and treat it with the extra attention and consideration. We might hold it differently, set it down differently, use it carefully, touch it softly. All because we have now realized that there isn't much life left in the thing and all the use and the abuse has caught up to it. For example, if your laptop or your phone has gotten old and is now acting up and your screen is going on and off, but you don't have the funds or the desire to replace it yet, then usually you will start trying to elongate whatever life the thing it has left and treat it as carefully as possible to not damage it any further. And the reason I call this strange behavior is because the obvious question that comes to my mind is, why not treat the thing like that from day one and every day you use it? Now, that will not guarantee that it will last forever. Things come with their own lifespan and unforeseen things happen all the time. But at least you will have minimized your own impact, your own footprint on the degradation of it. And of course, I can't help but think about this metaphorically. How many things in your life would be best paid attention to, best paid respect to, way before they required repair? Your health, your finances, your relationships, your rapport with yourself, what you think about yourself, your life altogether. How many things do you do differently when all these things are in a state of damage and require repair? Are you finally careful with what you eat and drink and how much you move and exercise and sleep when your health is in that damaged state? When pressed by your desired threshold of hardship, do you finally take your debt seriously, your income seriously, your self-development and skills seriously? When under strain, do your relationships finally matter to you? Do you finally give them the attention they deserve? Do you finally manage your tone, or do you then take the actionable steps to compromise or communicate? When your self-image is broken and shattered, when your laziness has caught up with you, when your responsibilities have mounted, do you finally start auditing your actions and taking better steps? The natural question in my brain is, why, when all the shit hits the fan, does it then prompt you to put all the extra care in? And I'll accept that you cannot be so careful with everything at all times. So then ask yourself honestly, while some areas of your life have suffered, have you actually harnessed that energy into other areas? Or do we need to fish for more excuses because you're leaking it altogether? Sure, you can't be careful with all things everywhere, but are you putting the care that you're not putting here into something else? And I can understand being seasonal in life and having one area suffer while the other one is brought up to speed. Anytime you are successful at one thing, you do borrow from the success of something else. It's just a resource allocation problem. It's only so much you can do. So while some areas of your life are allowed to degenerate or stay on maintenance, maybe, the real question you need to ask yourself is, am I using that now available resources and pouring them into growing the other areas or not? In the gym, if I want to bring up a certain body part, I can only handle a certain amount of systemic load. I can't just add more body parts to hit. So if I decide I want to specialize in one body part, I have to reduce the volume of some of the other things that I'm doing. But then I have to harness that extra volume that I created that's available to me now to put it into the specialized part. And if you are doing this, then the thing that is being ignored for a season will still benefit from the development in the other areas. If your laptop or phone, for example, was breaking because you didn't take care of it and you abused it, but you abused it in the name of using them like a workhorse. Like the cameramen I've seen who use their camera and it has visible wear and tear and abuse for all the work that they put it through. Then the result of that work, the fruits of that labor will allow you to easily justify the expense of replacing that thing because you put it through its paces and are deserving of another one or have earned the means to replace it because of that work. But if the accumulation of your use and abuse isn't in service to build something else up, then you've lost ground on both areas. You've degenerated the tool and you haven't gotten any work out of it. If you use your laptop or phone to make you money, I watch Joe Budden podcasts all the time and laugh because of the amount of abuse he puts his laptop through. He slaps it hard all the time when he's mad and he's laughing. He opens and closes it like 100 times. He slams the lid mad times. But guess what? He just doesn't need to baby it because it's being used to build something up. And the amount of money being made through those tools justifies the use and the abuse it gets because it can be easily replaced. But this is a trap. You can't go too far in this thinking because you can say to yourself, it's okay to ignore the care you put into certain things for a certain season. Let's say you don't put your care into your family for a season because there will be some compensating area in your life. You could say to yourself that will make up the energy not spent here. At least you're not losing it on all ends. And if you take that season and pour it into your professional life, you say to yourself that you can return back to the time and freedom with your family, that it would be damage done, but at least it has some valid justification to offset the regret. And although you might feel like this is justified, and I can understand trying to sequence life this way, the problem is you cannot sequence life this way. You will never get back the years you've missed by prioritizing one place and damaging another. You don't get to make up for certain important moments in your family's life. Which brings me back to my original point. Why not treat everything as if it's fragile and temporary? As if it's already on its last leg, close to its last breath, so that you can experience it as much as you can and care for it while you have the chance to do so. And this is where the stakes have to feel high enough to you at all times, not just during times of jeopardy. And whichever area in your life that you feel you can take your foot off the gas on, where you feel like you can coast, where the stakes aren't high enough for you to feel the need to grow, you will stop putting your best there. You will stop putting in your effort and care. You will start taking it for granted. You will use it with disregard, and it will degrade and decay until it has rotten so much that you have no choice but to put care back into it, and you will continually be stuck in this cycle. And in that, you have shortened its lifespan in two ways. One, in the literal sense that it will come to its end sooner, but also that while it was alive, you didn't experience it to as full of an extent as you could have. So to make anything last, it's not just that the care you put into it will actually increase its lifespan, because the outcome isn't in your hand. But while it is in your hands, while you do have the thing, the person, the chance, the life in front of you, the way you increase its lifespan the most is to live the most in it. Be the most alive while it's happening. Care for it like it's something to care for. Something that requires care every day, not just on its last days. I love you, family. Stay true, always. I'll see you on the next show.